In this video today, I'm going to show you how to put your trumpet together, how to take your valves out and oil them, and how to blow on your mouthpiece and make your first sound on, or your first note sound on your trumpet. So let's get started. First of all, when we put our instrument together, we're going to start with making sure that we have it on our lap or in front of us on our chair. I'm going to start with it on my chair because some of us might be kind of small and we don't want to fear of dropping the instrument on the floor and damaging it the very first day. So let's put it on our chair. So there's my trumpet on my chair. Now, the name of the instrument should always be facing the ceiling. So you should have like a little insignia on top of your case that faces towards the ceiling. And then you'll know you're doing it correctly and not dumping it upside down when you open up the case. Unlatch the levers and open it up. Inside, you're going to see two things. You're going to see the trumpet itself and you're going to see the mouthpiece. So let's grab both of those for a second. Pretty easy to put together. Mouthpiece goes in, just in the top hole, and it should just sit in there with a slight twist, not hard at all, because you don't want this to get stuck. We never want to pop the mouthpiece inside the instrument because it will get stuck and then you'll have to take it back to the music store and have them pop it out. I do have a tool at school that can help pop this out if it's not too stuck. If it is too stuck, sometimes I can't get them out and I have to send you to the music store to get them popped out anyway. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to close my case and I'm going to put it back down on the floor underneath my chair. All right, so here we are, we're ready to go. First off, let's figure out how to hold the trumpet properly, shall we? We're going to take the trumpet in our left hand. Make sure you've got your left hand up. My left hand is the one I have my watch on. And I'm going to put my middle finger through this little ring hold right there. You see that? I'm going to put this finger, wrap it around the valves, and my thumb wraps around the valves on this other side. These three guys, 1, 2, 3 are the valves. Okay? So, ring finger through, or your middle finger, whichever one is more comfortable for you. Wrap the rest of the fingers around the valves. These fingers are just going to kind of lay there naturally. Okay, so there's my left hand. I'm holding it. However, this hand, my right hand, raise your right hand. Your right hand is the one that does all the work on the instrument itself. So I'm going to stick my thumb between my first and second valve like this. Then I'm going to pretend I'm holding a baseball or a pop can. So I have this nice round hand, thumb in between those valves, and they're going to play with the tips of the fingers on top of the valves themselves. Hopefully they all move. All right, so this is how we hold the trumpet. Now notice when I play the trumpet, it's going to be up and out. You're going to see my bell right towards your face. And my mouth will come to the mouthpiece. So now that we know how to hold that, let's take it down and try it again. Put your hands down, pick it back up, get your fingers set, left hand, right hand, nice round fingertips. We don't want flat fingers, round fingers. They'll be able to move a whole lot faster when they're round. Bring it up to the mouth, and we'll get ready to play. Okay, so for our first sounds on the trumpet, let's take just the mouthpiece off. Now, the mouthpiece is actually an instrument in itself. We can do a lot of work with just the mouthpiece. The trumpet, I like to call, is basically the amplifier. It makes it louder and makes it a little bit easier to change pitches. But when we have a mouthpiece, we can do many things with it. But we're gonna fix the formation of our mouth, which we call our embouchure, in order to play correctly. So what I want is I want my mouth, my lips to be nice and kind of back, like I'm almost smiling and saying the word M. It's not up like this, but it's back, M. Try that with me. M. Notice how my lips are kind of flat. They're not out. My cheeks aren't puffed. They're back, almost like tight, firm cheeks, almost like a smile, and flat. So I put the mouthpiece there, M. And then I'm going to create what we call a buzz, or it might be like raspberries on your baby's tummy or something like that. M, M, Try that with me. M, M, okay, M, M, M. Did you also notice that I'm making my tongue go t, t when I start? So it's almost like I'm spitting something out of my tongue or off of my tongue, like maybe a little seed or something, before I start the buzz. Then I can move anything I want to within the mouthpiece itself, so I can make a different sound. I can make it high and I can make it low. Try that with me. Let's just go back to one sound. Notice I'm breathing through the corners of my mouth. Not through my nose, because sometimes our noses are stuffy and we don't get enough air into our lungs through our nose. So use the corners of your mouth. Use your tongue before you start your buzz. Play with me. I can play songs with just my mouthpiece because this truly is the instrument with your muscles in your mouth or your embouchure. Try that. You see the moisture that's coming out? That's because I have a lot of hot air that's coming through there. I'm not spitting saliva or anything through it. It's just the condensation that builds up from my hot air coming out of my mouth into a cold mouthpiece. All right, let's put that onto our instrument and see if we can create our first note today. Mouthpiece back in gently, small twist. Our first note that we're going to do today is called an E, and if you see on the board, it's right here on the very first line of the staff. Its name is E, and it looks like this: valves 1 and valves 2, our first and our second finger, E, and it should sound like this. Don't forget to use your tongue and keep those cheeks back. Check that M of your embouchure. M. How long can you hold it? I counted to 12. Did you hold it that long? Practice with me. Take it off. Try it again. You can pause the video there and practice it until you can play that note very, very well. Sometimes it's best to hum it. Hum, making sure you've got the right pitch before you do it. Hum. All right, now assuming that everything's working well on your trumpet, all that should be easy. But what happens if you have a brand new trumpet and your valves are not moving, or you've got a trumpet that you're using from somebody that hasn't been used for a while, excuse me, and your valves are not popping up and down like this. So we need to do what we call oiling our valves. I'm going to show you how to do this. I want you to pay really close attention, then I want you to practice. Now there's only one way the valves go into your trumpet, and each valve is specific to its case. Now notice that one's sticking a little bit. It needs some valve oil. See that? Needed to be valve oiled because it hasn't been valve oiled for the summer. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our valve oil out of our case or out of your cleaning kit. If you don't have any, you'll have to get some at the music store or borrow some from Mrs. Tolman. Looks like this, okay? Might come in a different bottle, but it looks like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our first valve. When you do this, you want to make sure you know exactly, you watch very, very closely how it comes out, because there's only one specific way it goes back in, and you have to memorize how that is when you pull it out. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to look at my valve. I've got a little thing right here that it's going to go into a little groove, it looks like. And I'm going to pull it out just a little ways, not all the way, but I'm going to put some valve oil on top of that valve. And then I'm going to slide it carefully back in, and I'm going to kind of twist it, make sure it locks in place. It should not be able to twist. If it's twisting, you've done something wrong. So you want to make sure you put it back in easily so it snaps right in. Then I'm going to take this little cap and I'm going to twist it back on until it's snug. Then I'm going to do valve number 2. Untwist that, open it up. If that's hard to do, ask your dad or your mom to help you get that open up. Pull it out easily, same way. Don't move it at all. Put some valve oil on it. And put it back down. Going to bounce it back up and down just a little bit to get that valve moving, just a little bit. Make sure it doesn't twist inside, and put your cap back on. And the third valve, untwist, pull it up, easily, take it easy, put some valve oil on the bottom part of that valve so it gets nice and lubricated. Push it back in, bounce it up and down so it feels good and lubricated, and make sure it's locked in place and doesn't twist, and put the cap back on, twist it back on. All right, hopefully that will do it. If you're struggling with this, I can help you when I see you in class again, or you can send me an email or send me a little text in Google Classroom, and I can help you go through that. If I need to Zoom conference you, I can help you through that. But your valves should be able to move up and down nice and easy. See that? They should move quick and easy so that you can play well. All right, and that's pretty much all there is to lubricating your instrument. These little guys on the end are called water keys, and after you're done playing, you should always empty those. And even sometimes when you're playing, if you hear a glurg, 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 glurg inside your instrument, you've got a lot of moisture inside built up. And we talked about that condensation that builds up. It's not just, you're not spitting inside there, but you are creating humidity inside your instrument. And so you'll need to empty those water keys. So what you do is you open it up and you blow. And it will dump the water down onto the floor or onto the puppy pad that you might have underneath of you. And keep that moisture out of your carpet and whatever else. But then you're ready to play. Have fun practicing and do this video as much as you want. Oh, taking it apart, easy as pie. Take out the mouthpiece, put it back in the case. Voila, you're done. Have fun. See you soon.